Welcome back, everybody. 6:40 a.m., October 31st, 2017. Happy Halloween to those that don't have rain and still dealing with this wind in the Northeast. All right, so we had this nor'easter slash tropical storm slash Philippe event. And for some people, it was basically nothing like it was supposed to be. And then for others, it was double and triple what it was supposed to be. We had some crazy wind speeds, guys. I didn't realize this until I started looking into the data we had available after this storm. But there were some areas near Cape Cod and closer to the coast that had 130-mile-an-hour gusts. That is crazy. And I was getting some flack, if you want to say, for putting 100 miles an hour on my thumbnail, and we topped that by 30 miles an hour. You can see here some of the gusts hit 93 in New England, so this was not a far-fetched number. A lot of people had a lot of strong winds with this storm. One of the biggest issues right now are power outages. I didn't have power for almost 32 hours because of this storm. More than 1 million people right now without power in the Northeast. It is just beginning to get a little better as the storm has moved north into basically Canada to the northeast of the Great Lakes as of right now. You can see it's spinning up in this area. So eventually it's going to get pulled by the jet stream. It's going to get pulled across, but some of these winds being pulled out of areas of Vermont and Maine, they are still dealing with this wind. So it's not quite over yet. We still have this wall of vapor being pulled up from the Caribbean, and we have an invest, believe it or not. We've had an invest. It actually dropped in its percentages, though, which is a good thing. We're going to take a look at it really quick right here. I think they gave this an invest name and then they took it away, or it might still be on there. I'm in a little bit of a rush this morning. Just wanted to touch base with you guys. We haven't talked in over a day, so yeah, just wanted to talk with you guys and talk about this too. 20% over 48 hours, 20% over 5 days. So that's what we have as of right now. I don't have the spaghetti plots pulled up as of yet, only because they're a little messy. They're moving around in circles. The current projected path has it going up towards the jet stream. But with that said, we have a couple other waves going on. We have a tropical storm wave a little bit closer to the west coast of Africa right now. We have one a little bit to the west of it towards the Lesser Antilles and Leeward Islands. And then we have this wave, which is part of our new invest that we've been watching. It was at 30% over 48 hours and 5 days, and it dropped down to 20, so that's a good thing. But what I want you to notice right off the bat are these high pressures. We've got a high pressure here in the North Atlantic, and then we have another high pressure, which is basically a separate entity. It looks like they were once the same high pressure, but you can see these rings here. It's almost breaking into two. So we're going to have one, looks to be moving down the west coast of Africa right here, and then we have one sitting north. So now what we have to think about is how that's going to affect this low pressure, which is our invest, the 20% 5 days, 20% over 48 hours. Now again, those are low numbers. That's a good thing. It may not develop at all, but if it does develop, what we need to look out for are the fact that we have these pressures here that really leave it nowhere else to go but south and into our warm water belt, which is still very warm and warm enough to sustain hurricanes, guys. Even in November, we are less than 20 hours away from November, and we still have action going on in the Atlantic Ocean, more so than the Caribbean, which is very odd. It doesn't usually happen that way. For the most part, when we get storms this time of year, they form right around here where we've been talking. This is where Nate formed. Felipe basically started down here. Philippe, sorry, it's not Felipe. I don't know if it really makes a difference. I think the spelling's the exact same, so I guess it doesn't matter how you pronounce it. But regardless, so what we have to actually look forward to and help us are these lines you see here. These are basically pressure walls. These will force these storms whichever direction they are moving. So this is going to be moving west to east, as well as this one here, west to east. Now, as these things move across the U.S., they do pull weather down from Canada. We are getting some snow. We're going to get into that in some other videos, but right now we're focusing on these tropical waves and the fact that it's Halloween, and I want to get you guys out of here quick enough to go enjoy the rest of your day. So, again, this is our invest wave right here. We need to keep an eye on this because if we have a high pressure here, which we just showed, you get the high pressure and a high pressure to the southeast of it. So one here, one here. Now that's going to leave this nowhere else to go but south or in this direction. Now I just showed you this wall right here of pressure is going to be moving, sorry about that, it's going to be moving west to east. So we have a wall coming this way, we have a pressure bubble here, pressure bubble here. Basically, if this does form, the only place it's going to be able to go is either down south and get underneath this wall, possibly coming back west towards the islands, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. Possibly. If not, it's going to get pushed this way, and it might just be basically crushed. Like if you guys remember back when Jose had a wall of pressure here and different pressures in the Bermuda Atlantic, it was supposed to be crushed out in the middle of the ocean, but then it ended up surviving for almost 3 weeks. So we do have on our side the timing of year, November. As we get farther in the year, less and less chance of these storms developing, but that doesn't, we can't ignore the fact that we have an invest here, guys. So after I get out of work today, we are back on it. Power's back. I don't have to worry about running off batteries, and this is our wide view radar chart as of right now. We do have some action in the South Caribbean, mid-Caribbean. We got some weather moving into the Gulf, and if you look right here, this is where the invest area is. I'm assuming it's right around here. Current direction seems to be southeast when looking at our black triangle line. Again, I don't have that pulled up yet. We will look at that this afternoon, but just wanted to give you an idea of what we're dealing with here. Here is South America. We do have some weather coming off there, but it seems to be being pushed south and southwest even, so that's a good thing. Caribbean looks fairly quiet right now. That could change within 24 hours besides this little spot right here and those tropical waves. So there is a tropical wave right here that we showed. You can see it right in this area moving towards the Lesser Antilles. That would be right here. And then we have our second wave that came off of the west coast of Africa, which would be right around this area here. So we do have some stuff going on. We're going to keep an eye on it. I'm going to be done with work around noon, 1 o'clock, and we will talk basically then. So if you guys are going out early for Halloween, be safe. I hope everyone has a great day if we don't hear from you. And that's that, guys. Have a great day. I'll talk to you all very soon. Bye-bye.